Good morning, everybody. Oh, a happy day. We got up this morning, didn't we? It is a happy day. Gloomy again, as James would say, but you know that don't bother me. And look, I found my pins. I had bought 10 or 12 at the Salvation Army for like $2 a piece. And it's so pretty. It goes good with this outfit. I work on my outfits, people. I just want to look nice for y'all. Besides, I like to wear it to the Walmart and people say, I like the flower, I like this. I tell you this verse I have lived by, honestly, and it is. And we know, Romans 8:28, you can look it up. It's a good one, Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them who are the called according to his purpose. Isn't that something? And we want to do his purpose as best we can. This morning, I'm thinking about my daughter up in New Jersey and her sister-in-law, sweet Rhonda Cohen, who made Kathy so welcome when she moved to New Jersey, which was a different. I tell you, they're so different up there. When we held revivals up there and we went into churches, everybody would say hello, shake our hands, and kisses on the cheek. I thought, even the men and the women, I had never seen that. And they're just so loving. Whatever. I went wherever, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I just kissed them on the cheek. They kissed me on the cheek. But Rhonda is such a good friend to Kathy, though she's Jewish, and a good sister-in-law to Kathy, because she married Kathy's husband's brother, Lenny. And Lenny is really sweet too. Lenny Cohen. Isn't that a nice name? Leonard and Richard. Mrs. Cohen, who I met and tried to talk to about the Lord Jesus, which she didn't want to hear none of it. But Richard, her son, he read a book about Christ, and he accepted Christ, Richard did, and went to Bible school, and that's where he met Kathy. And so he took Kathy to New Jersey. Like I said, I made a mistake when I sent my girls to college, because they married men that took them here, there, and yonder. But it's better than the pioneer days, because I can chit-chat with them. And I fixed my iPad so that their chit-chat don't come across while we're talking. I learned how to do it. Today I was going to tell you about how we raised tobacco. Oh, Rhonda, honey, be my daughter. Why don't you? You're just so sweet. And you and Kathy are sister-in-laws anyway. She can be my daughter, and any of the rest of you, my grandbabies, if you want to be my daughter, my niece, let's just be a family of love, okay? Okay. I tell you what, love goes all the way around the world. There is nothing like love. And Jesus said, love others as I have loved you, and treat others as you would want to be treated. And that's what we want to do. Okay, I want to tell y'all about raising tobacco. First thing you do when you raise tobacco, you have to plant a bed of seeds, and they put logs around.
Another station alert has arrived.
Another station alert has arrived. Weather on my phone. We'll look at that later. I turn that sucker off. I keep my phone right here. It's handy. So anyway, when you raise tobacco, you have to plant your seeds in a seed bed, and you cover it with, you plant with fresh new dirt and stuff, good dirt, and you put like a curtain across the top after you plant the seeds, and it keeps it warm, and they grow early. And Grandma always planted lettuce in her tobacco bed where she was going to have tobacco plants. And I always loved that lettuce. You could take green onions, and they had green onions in the bed too, and you could pick some green onions and some lettuce and get you some bacon grease, and you wash that lettuce and those onions and cut them up together and pour that bacon grease over it with a little vinegar. You got wilted lettuce. Delicious. Makes me want some right now. You can get lettuce any time of year at the grocery store. I might do that for James. He likes it. I hadn't even thought about it. So anyway, we would let those grow, and then Daddy would get those tobacco plants. I hated working tobacco because they had these big old worms in it that you had to pick off, and we had to do that once a week. And I got a picture on my other iPad of those worms somewhere, and I want to show them to you. Look here. That's those worms we had to pick off them tobacco plants once we got them planted. See how one of them is as big as a person's hand? That's a fact, Jack. They were that big. And you know what me and Norman would do? And Phyllis? They were as big and fat like that. We would take them and we'd slam them on the ground, and it would pop them. And they were dead as a mackerel. Pick them off, throw them. Pick them off, throw them. And there was a lot of them, and we had to do that often because you can't let, they would eat up your tobacco plants if you didn't get them off. They were voracious. That's your word for today, voracious. We know what that means, most of us. Of course, I quit when I was a sophomore in high school, but I read a lot, and my vocabulary is pretty good. James went to college, number 3, but I think my vocabulary is as good as his or better. So anyhow, we're doing tobacco, and so you got to hoe it, of course. And I had a hat around here somewhere. Here it is. When you're in the tobacco field, you want your hat like this. See this? You want a hat that's going to keep the sun off your face and you don't get sunburned, because I got real fair skin and I would burn. I had to wear long sleeve shirts and a hat. Now I had a straw hat. This is a hat I found at the Salvation Army the other day. Or was it the dumpster dive? Do you know what the dumpster dive is? I enjoy the dumpster dive sometimes. That's where the Goodwill has all this stuff they can't get rid of anyplace else. And they just throw it in bins and you go, I tell you what, them people can dig through that stuff like crazy. I'm not so good at it, so I get to somebody that's by 'em, that's a good digger, and I just go along by them. I don't want to dig that stuff too much. But I found this hat, it was on top. And you know, they charge you by the pound. So this one didn't hardly cost anything. And it's as cute as a button, and I can wear this in yard sailing. And maybe to church. I mean, it's not a bad looking hat. Put me a little flower right here or something. That's a good idea. You got to think up different things, and maybe I'm going to start a new style, huh? Now, this cat sometimes gets on my thing. This is a lift chair, which I don't need anymore because I take turmeric. I was reading a big article on the front of my iPad this morning of all the things that turmeric does for your body. And when I started taking it about 3 years ago, my arthritis, my stomach problems, everything went away. Honey, I believe that's why I'm 90, because the Lord led me to turmeric. Well, I know y'all want to hear the rest of the tobacco story, so I'm going to get with it. I get distracted sometimes, but that's okay. I get back on track. Back on track. I go to the dumpster dive and find a hat like this. I'm blessed. This probably run 15 cents. I'm thrifty. I might have a little money, but I've been thrifty all my life because we was so poor when we was little. You can't help yourself being thrifty. Thrifty. So we have to wait till the tobacco turns and gets dry. And then you take stakes about as tall as you are, about 5 foot tall. And they got a sharpened point on them. They're wood stakes, like you can use to prop up your tomato plants or your beans. You can let beans grow up on them if you put 3 together. Stakes, people do that. So you put that, you have to have a tobacco knife, which we did have, and you cut the tobacco down, put it on that stake, 5 or 6 plants, and then you have to take it and hang it on top of the barn, which is the tobacco barn. Daddy built the tobacco barn, which we put everything. I like this hat. Hey, Bella, look here. Look, she's sitting right here by me. I tell you what, I am happy today. The Lord is so good to me. I am so blessed to have all y'all. And now Rhonda has said, she just said be my daughter too. since she lost her mama some time ago. And I'm still here, so I can do that. I love you, Rhonda. Mwah. Up in New Jersey. No distance in these iPads. So we get the tobacco up, and we have to take it off the wagon after we've cut it and hand it up to whoever's going to put it in the racks up in the top of the barn. And we have to leave it there a couple of 3 months, and it finishes drying out. Now it's all dried out, but you can't take it down while it's like that. You've got to wait until the humidity gets high and make those dry leaves softer so that you can strip the leaves off one at a time and put them together. And then you take another leaf and you tie it around the end of it. And then you've got what they call a hand of tobacco. And that's the way we had to do it. And I could do it. You have to grade it. The bottom leaves go certain place. The middle leaves certain place to go into a hand. The bottom leaves were not very good sometimes. You made more money on the middle leaves than the top leaves. So you had to put them in hands, and then they're graded when they go to the tobacco sale barn by what the hands of tobacco look like. And Daddy usually made around $3,000 a year. And that was happy time at our family. That's when we got new shoes, 2 new dresses, 2 new petticoats, and maybe 3 or 4 pair of bloomers, better known as panties. It was bloomers back in that day. But we was so happy when we got that money, and Daddy we would have a good Christmas. I'll tell you what, on Christmas, Daddy, when we had the money, the tobacco money, he would go buy, he would save some, he didn't spend it all one day, and he would buy a crate of oranges. And he would bring them in Christmas, and he would say, eat all the oranges you want. You know what happened? I got burnt out on oranges. To this day, I don't care very much about them. I got burnt out because I ate and ate. They were delicious back when I was a little girl. But I don't care for them now. I just don't care for them. And also at Christmas, he would buy these big jars of hard candy. And he would give us, a poke, which is a little sack of hard candy for our very own. And that was thrilling because we loved the hard candy. You could suck it and make it last a long time. And I'd eat mine up pretty fast because I was always hungry and voracious. But Phyllis, the puny one, wasn't that crazy about it. And she would hide it in her, we had a dresser and it had drawers in it. And one side was mine, one side was hers. And she'd hide it in her top drawer. But it kept getting gone. Guess where it was going? I'd say the mice must be getting your hard candy. Or somebody. It was me. Because she didn't care nothing about it, so I just ate it anyway. The mice was going to get it. I'd leave her 2 or 3 pieces. I was a mean sister that reformed after I got older and was kinder to her. But I was so jealous of her. Talk about sibling rivalry. Daddy just petted her like she was so special, and I had always been petted till she got there, and guess what? I was not the pet anymore. That's my little baby Gil. Phyllis couldn't, she claimed she couldn't say girl, but she would say, I'm Daddy's little baby Gil. And I'd say, faker, faker, faker. She was a fake, and now she's gone. And I miss her so bad because we learned to love each other so much as we got older. Because I was like 4 years older than she was. And when I lost her a few years ago, I just grieved so bad that I got down to 130 pounds. Which is very unusual for me considering, you know what all these senior ladies say. I weighed 90 pounds when I got married. Well, I did weigh 90 pounds when I got married. I was so thin and so little. I was 22 inches around the waist. I was just like those. I was small and dainty. But I had worked hard, and so I was strong. You know what? I believe I've run out of time. I try not to let these run too long because I know y'all get bored and don't watch it all the way through anyway. So why should I waste my breath? No, that's not nice. I'll waste my breath anytime for y'all. I'm a smart aleck. James says I am a smart aleck, and I am, and I have those brothers, and you have to stay ahead of them, and that ain't no lie, because they can get you every time. They can come with a quick answer, and I appreciate all y'all that take time to watch any of this. God love you. I don't know why you look, honestly. I told James, I said, you know that's a miracle of God, honey, because I'm just not that interesting, I thought. But here y'all keep signing up, and I love you for it, because really I'm having fun. Me and Bella is having a great time. Look, Bella, look here. Look here, show them how pretty you are. Somebody said, she must be a giant cat. She looks so big. But she weighs about 8 or 9, 10 pounds. She's not very big. But the camera makes her look big. So, God bless you. I'm going to go have a great day. I'm going to go run into some of those stores I like to go to. Walmart and Aldi's. They got the best pears. I'm going to get James some. And I know you're interested, right? I tell you what. I just love you. You say you like to hear me talk. Well, I guess I like to hear myself talk, because here I go. Talking, talking, talking. Love it. Love it, love it. Bye, y'all. And don't y'all forget to walk that path where Jesus Christ, the Savior, would be pleased with you. Bye-bye.